I'm Jay Horton. I make movies that make money. This is how. Can you make money with independent films? Short answer is yes. Yes, you can. And I'm going to tell you how. The first question a lot of you will ask is, how much do you really make? I'm currently bringing in between $10,000 and $15,000 a month across probably 12 features. I have more that are in my library, but due to some proprietary relationships with partners, I can't really talk about those. Then you might ask, well, how much did you shoot these for? The budgets really vary. Hard costs are usually very low with my documentaries. If you include my time and effort, each one is made between $5,000 and $20,000 on average. But then I also have some narratives in the mix that are more around $25,000 to $50,000. But there are some cheaper and more expensive ones too. Where do these movies make money? Although the market share continues to decrease, I'm still making over 60% of my film's exhibition income off of Amazon. That's right, still Amazon. And then for me, Tubi TV is right behind them, and it's gaining fast. I expect my Tubi revenue to surpass my Amazon revenue by a good margin within the next 3 to 6 months. But even then, Amazon is still a viable avenue for indie bistro or distro or distribution, in spite of popular filmmaker rhetoric. It just shouldn't be your only avenue. You hear that? Amazon should not be your only avenue. So what are some other platforms I use? I do pretty good on Hoopla, StreamGo Media, You Digital, Telus, PlayNow Media, and a few dozen others. But all those other platforms combined still don't really come that close to Amazon and Tubi's revenue. Honestly, those two right now are pretty much my bread and butter. But I'm always looking at new platforms. I'm always trying them because, I know that the future is uncertain. Who knows what Tubi and Amazon will be doing a year from now. So how do I get to these platforms? As most of you know, you can do Amazon, US, and UK all on your own. And yes, Germany and Japan too if you have subtitles or dubs. But I don't do Amazon myself anymore. For the moment, I do all of my streaming placement through one of two entities. Indie Rights, which is an independent film distributor, and FilmHUB, which is an independent film marketplace. I've talked about these guys many times before on my distribution and marketing videos. Check out a playlist here. But in short, they're both honest. They both pay. They both pay on time and what is promised. So how do I market these movies? Mostly social media. I have 3 different company identities. Zapruder Flicks for my documentaries, Filmmakers On for my narrative stuff and other filmmakers, The J Horton, which is mostly about filmmaking, like this channel here. But I also promote a combination of the other 2 things through The J Horton as well. I post pictures, videos, text posts daily across these platforms for all of my projects using a social media scheduler. I use Agorapulse, but I also might recommend Hootsuite if you want something a little cheaper. When creating my posts, I make good use of SEO and hashtags when appropriate, and I do some Facebook ad buys. And I don't care what anyone says, if you do them right, Facebook ads can pay off. They can pay off really well. And I don't spend that much. I spend an average of $200 a month across my whole library. Of course, I concentrate most of that on my newer releases. I typically run a $1 to $3 a day ad on the new stuff for their first 3 months. Then I pick 1 or 2 older projects a month and throw another $30 to $60 at them. And that's it. And for those who say these can't be effective, I have 4 campaigns running right now and am paying out no more than 4 cents a click-through. And that's at the high end. One of them is delivering at 0.0003 cents a click-through. I also make use of an email list that I've been building for over 4 years. Now, most people are not going to have access to a good email list starting out, but it's never too late or too early to get started building one. Yeah, okay, I hear you, but does this marketing really help? To be 100%, this is really hard to quantify. Sure, I can point to the click-through rate on the ads, but did the people that click through actually watch the movie? Who knows? When you're dealing with a third-party platform like Tubi or Amazon, there's no real way to track the purchase. And as far as social media posting goes, same thing applies. It's really hard to track. But since I've started doing the marketing, which has only really been consistent over the last probably 12 months, my returns have went up by over 300%. I have to believe that at least some of that is not due to luck and has to do with the ads and the marketing. So how am I able to make movies so cheaply? Short answer, I do almost everything myself. On documentaries, I shoot them, I edit them, I distribute them, and I promote them. Aside from occasionally hiring a graphic artist for a poster that I can't seem to nail, or working out a rev split with a shooter in another state or country, I do it all. Now, on narratives, it's a little more complicated. I still do the lion's share, but I partner with others to help bring the movie to completion. Some get paid up front, others I do rev split partnerships with. Filmmaker tips. So I was browsing a filmmaker group on Facebook and I was about to ask the question, can you make money on independent films? And I came across a thread where someone else had already asked that exact question and it had like 50 replies. Here are some of those replies. Make a film good enough to sell and sell it. Getting your foot in the door to sell is the difficult part. If you can find a talented producer who has good links to financiers and you have a strong script that's commercially viable, then it can start becoming a payday, but there's still no guarantee. Yeah, this is certainly how people used to approach it. And if you are next level talented and your movie hits and hits big, this is absolutely viable. But for most of us, it's not about any one film breaking us through. It's more about a consistent body of work. Get the script bang on first. Also, it's worth looking at genres that are slightly cheaper. Comedy, horror, drama. They tend to particularly be good starting points for low budgets. Okay, almost solid advice. Yes, the script is king. However, with indie stuff, comedy and drama, those are two of the worst genres to try to shoot. Make something stunning that touches people's hearts and flips their soul. Nice sentiment, but you still gotta find the audience. Get lucky. Obviously, successful people like to believe they're self-made, but in this industry, it's almost entirely who you know and luck. So meet like-minded people and roll the dice as often as you can. Okay, and I've said this time and time again that there is an element of luck that goes into any film success, and I really like the ending bit about meeting more like-minded people and rolling the dice more often. However, I find that in general, people that say it's all luck are people on the outside who are bitter that they're not making it with their own films. You don't. There were over 5 comments in this thread worded exactly like that. You don't. I'm just sick and tired of that response. Maybe you don't, but I certainly do. And so do many others I know. Stop being such a Miranda. Target to a niche audience. Market to that niche audience. And find ancillary products or services that you can charge for. That was probably the best, most thought out response on the thread. Most likely, you don't. You earn your bread with a sustainable and safe job while making your movies out of your passion for the craft. Fortune favors the bold, dude. I certainly did not find success in movies by being safe. If you want to get a little more in depth about how I market my movies, check out a few of these other videos. But whatever you do, keep making movies.